Alrighty, welcome to the Indie Fight Forum. My name is Thumbtack Joe. As always, with a new episode, we don't take fucking shit on this channel. Here with a fucking review of GC fucking W. Nick fucking Gage, bro. Yeah. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, Mom? Can you bring me some Cheetos, Mom? Make me some pancakes?
It's time to get hardcore, ladies and gentlemen, there. With GCW. GC Dub, there. ECW ripoff or whatever, there. GCW, the Wrld on GCW. The fuck kind of pay-per-view name is this? And the Wrld is misspelled or whatever. How do you find this? If somebody's looking for it. Have you heard the show, The Wrld? Christ, I tried typing for it. I can't see it anywhere, Frank. You're not a real fan, bro. GCW, the Wrld on GCW, folks. Now, sometimes we talk about indie wrestling, you know. AEW, Tony Khan, you know. AEW, it's a national company that wants to be indie kind of deal. Usually it's the other way around. Indie wants to be big time. But this GCW, this was indie, boy. And it was fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Terrible show, folks. So basically, they were in the Hammerstein Ballroom where ECW used to wrestle. You know, it's a nice little place or whatever. It has history in wrestling there. But the show that was put on, folks, I mean, good God! Good God! It started off with, it was 6 men. They were going to compete in a grab the brass ring match, a ladder match. Did they rip this off from AEW? Did AEW rip them off? I don't fucking know there, but it's the goofy match with the big ring that everybody made fun of or whatever. The match is about to start, and then AJ Gray, folks, you've heard of him. You know, the music starts. Oh, fuck, who's this? On pay-per-view, there are people paying money for this. Who's the star coming out? It's AJ Gray. Who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Who's AJ Gray? He's a hardcore guy, apparently. They're the Extreme Champion, folks. So then you have this match, some car crash kind of match or whatever. AJ Gray, the big star there, he climbs up a ladder. You know, and he's facing the ring. He's going to jump in the ring. There's the ladder set up outside the ring, if I remember. And he's on top of the ladder. There's a ladder in front of him. And he's trying to move the ladder. You know, the ladder shouldn't have been there, obviously, before your big jump. Just move the fucking thing. But he's up top, you know, nobody's coming to grab the ladder away in front of him before his big jump. Somebody could have just grabbed this and hit somebody. But he's standing up, there's a ladder in front, he's trying to move the ladder. He jumps just a short distance, he lands on the ladder in front of him. And just fucking plops on the fucking ground or whatever, like, very terrible. And then this guy wins, AJ Gray or whatever, like, amateur, folks. Like, we'll get into some more of this there, but very bad camera. Like, a lot of times the camera ain't picking up what's supposed to be fucking captured or whatever. Just atrocious in any way you can imagine. Like, second match, it was Team Gringo versus Team Bandido. So basically, because ECW had luchador or whatever, it wasn't just hardcore, there was luchador too. So then these guys do the luchador thing. So you had a group of luchador jobbers. Bandido, I've seen him before, I think, there. And then it was Team Gringo, which was pretty much white luchador or something, you know what I mean? And the star of the team was Gringo Loco. Now, at some point there, I'm going to use this to try to demonstrate what happened there. One guy, because I can't explain verbally, it don't make sense. Like, so one guy is standing up on top of the ring post facing towards the ring. And then Gringo Loco, the fat white luchador without a mask, he's standing in front of him. Right? So this guy jumps up, clips him like this, and he rolls into the ring. This guy just jumps and lands flat on his face and stomach. Right? Then he gets up again, grabs the other guy, gives him a pile driver, and that's the finish. Like, that was the fucking finish. I don't know, was he supposed to catch the guy? Was he supposed to dive and land on top of him on the ground? He just fucking jumps like a 180, does a big splash, lands right on his face, gets right back up, pile driver, 1, 2, 3. One of the worst finishes I've ever seen. Like, you know what I mean? Straight up there. This Gringo Loco, maybe if he was in Mexico, like, for his whole career, you know, call himself like this, be a luchador, but like, you know, he's white, he's American, like, why does he do a Mexican gimmick? Like, the gimmick was bad, and this performance was just atrocious, this finish. I never seen anything so horrible. The finish, like, wow, man. Third match, it was Blake Christian defeating Lio Rush. Apparently, Blake Christian was supposed to fight a big star. I never heard the fucking guy's name, but the guy didn't show up or whatever, which is typical in the indies there. The guy doesn't show up, and then it's Lio Rush as the big star replacement. And this Blake Christian was about the same size as Lio Rush, so it was like a mosquito match. Two tiny men running real fast and flipping, and, you know, I was bored to death watching this. I'm thinking, where's the fucking light tubes? Isn't this supposed to be hardcore? What the fuck is this shit? But apparently, according to Brian Alvarez and his buddy that kept making excuses for this show there, apparently at the Hammerstein Ballroom, they can't use light tubes and they can't do any of the stuff that they're known for. Maybe you should have went to Philadelphia then for this show, you know. If you wanted to rip off ECW, just go to Philadelphia and do the stuff you're known for. Because basically it's a bunch of ham and eggers, hardcore wrestlers. Usually they just line up and take light tube in the head, right? And the wrestling is secondary there. So basically, you had a bunch of amateurs trying to put on a wrestling show or whatever, and it was bad. Like, Lio Rush can wrestle, I guess, but who gives two fucking shits about Lio Rush? I don't. I don't give two fucks. I never sat there and was excited for Lio Rush in WWE or AEW. Why would I be excited for this fucking twig jobber in this fed? And I'm even less excited for Blake Christian, fucking unknown jobber that does the same shit Lio Rush does that I'm not interested in. So this match was boring there. If a match needed light tube to make it interesting, it was this. Fourth match, Zack Ryder, folks. Matt Cardona versus Joey Janello. Ryder comes out with the Sandman music with, we had Chelsea Green. She had the kendo stick. So basically, he's doing the anti-hardcore gimmick, which has been done before. A vest like Mick Foley, and it's written "Fuck Mick Foley" on it. So, but here's the deal: Zack Ryder looks like $1 million compared to everybody else on this show. You know what I mean? Physically, looks way better than these guys. He at least looks like a wrestler. You know what I mean? And sadly, Janello looks like a big star compared to the rest of the guys as well. You know what I mean? And Janello looks like a fucking mongoloid. And sadly, looks like Calvin Klein compared to the rest of this roster. You know what I mean? And this was surprisingly decent. You know what I mean? But then things started getting weird. You had somebody comes out with a mask of Vince McMahon. He takes it out. Takes off the mask. It's Vincent Virgil or whatever. You know, it's cool to see Virgil 2 seconds. It's weird as fuck and random as hell, but makes no fucking sense there. But okay, right? And then Hornswoggle comes out, and he's in this thing for like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Virgil was there 5 seconds. Hornswoggle was in this thing way too long. And then some random fat ass, big fat guy with a big ass gut. Like, I understand back in the day you had big men like that, but they were more convincing one-man gang. This looked like just a big fat indie fan, like huge fucking neckbeard with glasses, I think. He was dressed like a big fucking indie fan, like, just looked like a big indie fan, and he's squashing Hornswoggle. Then Marco Stunt gets involved or whatever. He was in there way too long. Brian Myers comes out. He helps Zack Ryder win the match there. Thank God this was finished. And then X-Pac showed up at the end. Like, this thing started okay, but then it just became way too bizarre and retarded, like, straight up. Like, I don't know what y'all were trying to accomplish with this shit, but, like, seriously, like, you should have just had a match. Maybe have Brian Myers show up, a quick thing of Virgil, but, like, this wasn't really necessary in their match. X-Pac, if he wants to come out to make $200 real fast or whatever, but Hornswoggle, Marco Stunt, this giant Marshmallow Man indie fan or whatever, like, and then you had some fucking guy, like, Vance Warner. He looks like a hardcore wrestler, a backyard guy, like a guy with 2 brain cell kind of deal, like a prisoner, some kind of juggalo championship wrestling kind of guy or something there. This whole fucking show felt like juggalo championship wrestling, but even worse than that, you know what I mean? But this guy comes out, you know, and he cuts a full promo. Some kind of hardcore guy, maybe he's buddies with, what's his face, Nick Gage or whatever, but he comes out.
Thanks. Thank you for showing up here at GCW. GC fucking W.
You can barely understand what he's saying, the obvious ex-prisoner or something. Maybe he was high on meth, who fucking knows there, but
without the fans, there ain't no GCW. Thank you. We're the best fucking company in the world, thank you.
That's the way he was. The fuck is this? Like, this is the kind of guy, he shows up, you call the police, help, there's a homeless guy here. He's gonna hurt the children. This guy's in the ring.
This is my home here. GCW.
It's like, holy fuck, like. And then this guy gets attacked by jobbers or whatever, like, some guy comes out with a weird hat with horns or something. They beat up this guy. And then Sabu was there. Sabu comes to help Warner or something. You know what I mean? So you get random Sabu there. Hey, this is good. I mean, wow. Terrible. 5th match, Ruby Soho defeated Ali Catch. Ali Catch, apparently the star woman, some fat girl with a tongue and a big fat ass. Like, a fucking ass this big with a tongue. She's so attractive. I mean, and Ruby Soho won. Apparently the fans wanted the fat girl to win or whatever. Like, terrible match. 6th match, folks. Oh, jeez. Jeff Jarrett versus Effie. Why did I even watch this bullshit? Because the Meltzer side of the pond are talking about this show like it's supposed to be a big deal. Apparently this is the hot new indie promotion. What Culture, Cultaholic, all of these big channels are promoting this. Were they paid to promote this fucking shit? I have no idea. You know what I mean? Are they talking about it because it's apparently cool with 10,000 indie fans? I have no idea. But apparently this is a good fed according to these channels, like What Culture, stuff like this. And they're talking about this match, Jeff Jarrett versus Effie. Apparently Effie is a big star in the indies. He's good, he's a big deal. I see Effie. Some skinny guy, I don't know if he was 25 or 50 years old, like straight up. His face, his physique, it was like a blonde mullet with a mustache, a pink jacket, fishnet nylons or whatever there. Okay. I don't know by his physique, his face, like I said, is he 30? Is he 28? Is he 50? It's hard to know. He's a fucking jobber is what I know, right? So he's wrestling Jarrett about a minute. He gets on his knees in front of Jarrett's crotch there and starts going like this. In front of the crotch of Jarrett, like he wants to suck Jarrett's dick, really, there in defense. I understand y'all jerk off to this. I understand this, you know, homoeroticy or however you want to call it. It's a big part of the indie culture, but this ain't it, bro. You know what I mean? Jeff Jarrett, a former WCW World Champ, he wrestled in old hick territories. You know, he booked himself as TNA champ. People mock him for this, but he's way too fucking good for this. You know what I mean? Like, I felt bad for Jarrett. He tries to reinvent himself there with a hat and a jacket. Basically, he's Jericho, Sting, and Undertaker. Hey, where'd you guys get the hat, y'all? He brought himself a hat and a coat there. Jarrett reinventing himself or whatever. But he's still a legend in wrestling, and this Effie guy is humping Jarrett's face there. His crotch on his face, humping his face. Jeff Jarrett getting fucking raped, basically, by the gayest wrestler that I've ever fucking seen. Like, who wants this? Who wants to see this? Like, what the fuck is this? What was I watching? Poor Jarrett. I've never felt bad for Jarrett, but goddamn, I felt bad. And it wasn't the only time he humped his face. He humped his face. He humped his head. It was like, goddamn, leave him alone, bud. Have a wrestling match. Like, holy fuck, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Jarrett won the match. Jesus Christ. You know what? Jarrett way too good to show up to a thing like this. Like, oh my god. Like, if he could still wrestle, go to NWA, fuck, or something. Don't go in this shit. You know what I mean, man? Go back to Impact or fucking do something. Like, this is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Darren Young, the wrestler that wrestles in AEW, the tag team, the rapper, his partner is gay. You don't have to come out in the thong and fishnet and hump the other wrestler's face. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck was this, straight up? And what culture want to call this Effie guy a star? He's a big deal. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, and then the main event, it was the Briscoe brothers, and then they go up against Matt Tremont, some short, fat guy. I'm thinking, who the fuck is this fucking jobber like this in the main event? A hardcore legend. Okay, you know what I mean. And his partner, Nick fucking Gage, bro. And it was Nick Gage. The crowd lit up or whatever, you know what I mean. The match lasted about 4 minutes, fuck. 4 minutes, according to Alvarez. Other guys wrestled too long, so the main event was destroyed. The Briscoes lost the tag team titles in about 4 minutes in a roll-up, because there wasn't enough time, you know. And then Nick Gage, fucking horrible, like, really, like, oh, jeez, I forgot. Before this, there was John Moxley, folks. John Moxley and Homicide. Apparently, according to Alvarez, this was getting rave reviews. This was garbage, the match. Okay, Moxley again. Too good to be doing this trash. He's only hurting himself with this. This match sucked. It was boring. Like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 minutes tops. Boring shit wrestling. There's nothing to rave about. Okay, Homicide, he's like this tall. Looks like an old midget. He has no business in the ring for a world title. He's an old, washed up midget, and it looked bad. Okay? What looks even worse is him kicking out of Moxley's finishing moves, you know? Moxley's on AEW TV. You're trying to portray him as a star. He's wrestling in this junk organization. And old midgets are kicking out of his established moves. I find that pathetic. Like, you know, he has him in the choke. He gets out. The big Moxley DDT on the chair. Homicide kicks out. Fuck is that? Homicide is a little bum. Give it up there. You know what I mean? Maybe he impressed a few loser indie fans and shows that nobody ever watched. But he shouldn't be kicking out of big established moves like this. It's just gonna fuck Moxley. You know what I mean? But a horrible show. Completely terrible from top to bottom. Like, straight up, one of the worst wrestling shows I've ever seen. Like, this is about the same as Juggalo Championship Wrestling. The commentary was atrocious. Like, atrocious. Oh, fuck! Oh, this guy's a fucking asshole, man! Oh, fuck! Yeah, fuck! Such a terrible amateur production. Like, commentary don't need to be like that. Who the fuck are these dorks trying to impress by constantly swearing and swearing like juggalos? Swearing because they think it's cool. Like every 3 seconds on commentary. Yo, Nick fucking Gage, bro. Oh, fuck. Shit. This guy's an asshole, bro. It was terrible. And the ring announcer. This guy looked like he had 2 brain cells in his head for real. He was there. Like this. He looked like a meth addict. He looked like he was high as fuck or mentally not all there. I don't know what the guy was, you know. I'm not used to this. I'm used to seeing ring announcer look classy, dressed up. This guy looked like an indie fan, a beard, a toque. He looked like me a bit. There, toque and beard with glasses, right? But like this. And he had a t-shirt, EC fucking W, baggy jeans and big white running shoes. It looks super amateurish. Up next, Matt Cardona. It's like, holy fuck. At one point, Moxley's and he's standing there for his match, and the announcer's like, he's right next to him, Moxley standing, looking forward. The announcer's right here. Right in his face, almost. John Moxley. Like, what? You know what I mean? Nick Gage, a 4-minute match. After an atrocious show like this, he gets on the microphone. This is the best wrestling company of all time. Not of all time, he says the greatest company in the world. Is this fucking meth addict for real? Like, you put on a horrible show like this. One of the worst wrestling shows straight up, including shows that I went to see. You show up there, you give them a can of bean, and they let you in for free. You know what I mean? Shit like this. Those shows were way more professional and presentable, better looking, than this fucking garbage. Like, Juggalo Championship Wrestling looked more serious than this, straight up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, it's bad. Very, very, very bad. You know. And guys like this, they're this Warner, Vance Warner.
I'd like to thank you all for coming.
You know, guys like this, They used to be in the fucking audience at a hardcore show, you know what I mean? They used to be in the audience, the brain dead criminal types, hardcore wrestlers. Now these fucking people are in the ring, and the people in the crowd are fucking nerds trying to be ECW fans, and it's fucking pathetic to witness. GCW at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Go fuck yourselves, you fucking Ammonagers. Fucking Bush League Ammonagers, straight up, like. I don't know what's the point of the what cultures and everybody trying to push this there, but y'all are doing it wrong, bro. Why don't you push NWA or something, you know what I mean? Push something that makes sense. This is fucking garbage. Is this what you gotta watch there? If you're an indie fan, you gotta pretend that this is good. Effie? Y'all are jerking off to guys, weird fucks like this in nylon, humping other men's face. Like, Hornswoggle, wasn't this bad in WWE, Hornswoggle? But y'all are jerking off to him on the indie circuit. Like, this is horrible program. Well, this is not a program. It's a fucking joke, like. Terrible. One of the worst shows I've ever seen. 0.5 out of 10. Straight up. A 4-minute shit show main event. You know, with the Briscoe brothers. You know, not that I really care about them, but I know them. I've seen matches. I know they're a couple of tough guys. It would have been okay. Nick Gage against the Briscoes in a tough guy match. Right? But it lasts like 4 minutes and it's finished. Fucking garbage. Matt Cardona destroyed. Some of the worst botches I've ever seen. Like, you know, this was just horrible all over. Moxley's match was poor. Very, very poor. Like a cheap throwaway TNA match that feels like shit there. That was Moxley's match. Horrible all around. Don't believe that this is good or whatever. Don't believe the hype, folks. You know, you want to watch this, you know, as some kind of car crash material. You want to see Nick Gage with the pizza cutter. You know, have at it. But don't pretend that this is good or better than WWE and it's the number 3 promotion. Nah. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, fuck off. You gotta use reality. It might be fun sometime to review it. I can have fun reviewing the garbage. I laugh at the giant botch. But don't pretend it's a good wrestling show because it's not. 0.5 out of 10. That's what I'm giving the show, and that's not an exaggeration. That's a real fucking straight up, rating for this show there. Until next time, peace. Oh, Lordy.